to work on YouTube. Sorry guys if you're waiting on the other stream. I've had to cancel that because I couldn't get to stream from the one that I said that was going to be up. So that's been an absolute nightmare through YouTube. Can't live stream the one that I said I was going to stream through. So that's unbelievable. So apologies, I've not been well, so I had to go to the doctors there. So and I think they've tried to phone me in the meantime and I haven't managed to get there. But I thought we'd come down and talk about what happened yesterday. And did I get the prediction wrong, or was that just the start of something else that's going to happen? So obviously the prediction of Swinney going yesterday didn't materialise. The Greens turned yellow and didn't actually allow the vote of no confidence. I think had to be a swing of 5 MPs. So there had to be a swing of 5 to actually for Swinney to go, and that was probably the number from the Mr. Whiteman and the other Greens, and they weren't prepared to actually do it. They weren't prepared to actually back the vote of no confidence. I think Rees-Mogg was very ambiguous in what he actually said for the reasons behind the fact that the SNP, they would back the SNP, because I think all the arguments from the Lib Lab Con party were actually better than what actually was said by the SNP, and Swinney answering questions himself, just saying the fact that they hadn't, the Crown Office hadn't been asked because it wasn't in the public interest. I mean, I can't understand that. I can't understand at what point that wasn't in the public interest. It wasn't in. How's it going? Well, it's been pretty tricky trying to get uploaded on YouTube. But apart from that, everything's going okay. Apart from me having to go to the hospital, go to the doctor rather than the hospital. So there is underlying issues. So is Swinney out the woods? Waves, yes, hi there, hi Marion, how you doing, pal? Thanks for waiting, guys, I appreciate that as well. I thought I was going to be on earlier, but I've got a medical problem, so I had to go and see the doctor. I had to postpone it, and then it wouldn't live stream off the stream that I'd said to live stream off of. I mean, it's unbelievable. You think they've got the works in. This is where Humza Useless's hate speech bill is going to come into play, because obviously every phone is a mic and a camera into what you're doing, so they'll be able to they might be able to use big tech to actually spy on you, and then if you say anything that's in their hate speech, whatever their hate speech definitions, which they haven't defined, so hate speech can literally mean anything that they find objectionable, but they're not going to be liable for it. Oh, come on. So there was a picture over in one of the lampposts about Humza Useless. I'll put it up and do a live stream about Humza Useless's hate speech bill, which was an absolute disaster. Hiya pal, hi Kyle, how you doing? Thanks guys for waiting for me, I really appreciate it. It was just one disaster after another this morning. So, is Swinney out the woods? So he had one vote of no confidence, but now they're talking about having another vote of no confidence in Swinney before the actual election. So he'll have had 3 votes of no confidence. He might win all 3, especially if the Greens back him. But there is now going to be another vote potentially of no confidence. The reason being, the education report has been delayed till June, because obviously that's going to be terrible as well. If it's not just the fact that they've been covering up the Alex Salmond debacle, and they've been destroying documents, and they've been redacting information, and the whole thing's going to be a complete cover-up. Excuse me, my hair. A complete cover-up. It's been a woman's harder than it looks. It's been a cover-up. So Swinney is now going to be potentially put back up. Good morning everybody, how are you doing? Swinney is now going to be potentially back up on charges. because of obviously, or not charges, but obviously another vote of no confidence, because he is now going to have to take the Derry for the disastrous education report, which is going to be an absolute shambles. So they've tried to kick it down the road. So I think the Greens might call for the education report to be released so that you guys can actually know if you've got children. I don't know how many of you get children, how many you don't, but if you've got children, then you can actually find out what a disaster the SNP have been for the education of your children over the last year. So I mean, this has just been one thing after another. So the Parliament is going to push for the release of the report, and Swinney might get another vote of no confidence. So I might not be wrong, although I think that the Greens are going to maybe in the Marxists, the watermelons, green on the outside, red in the mid and the inner. That he is going to he's going to have to now speculate or stipulate why the education standards is slipping. I mean, we had one of the best education systems in the world at one point, and now under the SNP it's gone from bad to worse. I mean, it's quite incredible. The reason they don't want that education bill to come out is that parents are going to see how bad the Scottish education is before the general election. So they're now trying to put it out in June. So the Parliament is now going to try and force them, like they did with the actual legal documentation, try and force them to actually release the education report prior to the actual general election, so that you know about this. So true, the police are watching you pass X2, the car, be careful. I'm sure they are, I'm absolutely sure they are. I'm getting slandered in the papers anyway. Green votes brought again for the budget. Yeah, no confidence. There's two parties to have to, sorry, I disappeared there. So yeah, the Greens were probably bought off supporting the budget. Yeah, I did potentially get that wrong yesterday, because I should have known that the Greens would have actually supported the SNP and not actually pushed for the Swinney to go. So I mean, that's just another disaster. That's just a. But Swinney's really damaged good. The SNP are really damaged goods, and I'm going to come on. Obviously, I know you guys wanted me to talk about what's happening down in London and Westminster with the SNP as well, which I'll come on to tonight with the gay mafia. And look out for the time tonight. I'll be doing it from the house, so get on and have a look at the gay mafia today in the SNP, and we'll have a wee look at what's actually happening there. I told you there was the gay mafia was involved in this, and we're going to be able to see who's involved and what positions they hold, and we're going to look at the whole overall structure of the gay SNP mafia that's absolutely running like a cabal. The SNP, that they're covering up the gay sexual harassments, but absolutely just trying to destroy Alex Salmond. Oh, come on, they must think we're stupid. They must think we're absolutely crazy. And Miss Davison is also talking about the fact that these women have been betrayed, and these women, the woman, but they've gone through a legal process. So they've gone through the court. What do you think that will happen, Davey, about 6 p.m? Yeah, the gay mafia at 6 p.m. I'll be able to get that. That'll be a lot easier for me because I'll be in the house. But yeah, the gay mafia at 6 p.m. And what I'll talk about, I'll go into the details about what happened with the gentleman whose allegations. These are allegations just now, so you shouldn't judge anybody in allegations. But I'm going to talk about the gay mafia structure, like what's happened with Derek Mackay and things like that. Laugh out loud. I was up at 6 a.m. to watch it over you, Marion. Sorry, it was 6 p.m. tonight. I mucked it up. I was doing it last night. I was doing it in the early hours this morning, and I should have made it later, slightly later, and done it tonight. I can't believe you're up at 6 a.m. That's so funny. 6 p.m. tonight, because I think that's going to be a better time. So it's just absolutely incredible what's happening. I mean, but obviously the papers are having a field day What is the monastery behind, Davy? Oh, is that the Parliament? Yeah, that's the Parliament. It's terrible, absolutely horrible building. It's just postmodernist. I think I turned over at 6 a.m. Did you? Oh my goodness, sorry guys. Keeping you all up last night in anticipation of the Gay Mafia. Oh, that's going to be a good one tonight, because obviously there'll be a few. I'm going to not just cover the SNP, but the amount of people who are gay in the actual Parliament. There's no problem with being gay, and I don't want to go too far into it. I don't want to go too far into it just now, because obviously I want to talk about it tonight. But the overall amount of homosexuality in the Parliament is quite staggering. So, and there's nothing wrong with being gay, absolutely nothing. But when there's an over-representation, then that might become an issue, especially if they've got an underlying agenda of the SJW type of politics that is absolutely disgusting, basically Marxism. But I'll get into all of that tonight. So, Swinney, back to Swinney. So Swinney thinks he's off the hook, I think. Oh, I managed to burn all the documents of... it's rife, yeah, it's right. It's not that it's rife. Homosexuality is an actual thing, and I don't want to get too far into it. The Greens are just the SNP simps. Of course they are. The gardeners, they're all gimps. I told you this. They're all globalist Islamo-Marxists. That's what they are, gimps, and up to including the Conservative Party. That's why you need to vote. You need to vote out with the Lib Lab Con Party, the Greens and the SNP. You need to vote for something like the Libertarian Party or the UK Reform Party, I know some of the people in it, and they're good people and they'll make good politicians, but certainly better than some of the people in here. So, look at the hair's going all over the place. They all think they are off the hook. It's not about them getting the process through the Parliament. It's not even about Nicola Sturgeon. Nicola, they should do a vote of confidence now. They should be doing a vote of confidence Nicola Sturgeon. But as did Swinney, because it's not about what actually happens in the Parliament, even if there's not the numbers there. It's what happens in the repercussions in the actual with the public. It's the public that elect the politicians, not internally within here. But it does show the greater extent of what the underlying implications of what happened with the salmon inquiry. So same wind in Ulrika that day. I certainly doing wonders with my hair. I look like I've been electrocuted. So I look like the guy in Beetlejuice. Seeing their propaganda appearing on lampposts now for vote for the SNP postal votes, of course, and the easiest way to manipulate a democracy is through postal voting. That can be gerrymandered up to the nth degree. So that's always going to be an issue. And that's what we saw in America, the gerrymandering over there. And then you get weekend at Bernie president, or you get wee Nippy, the alleged intersectional lesbian Marxist, intersectional postmodernist lesbian Marxist. They did it in the US, that's exactly right, exactly, and the SNP will do it for sure. Well, it's already, the SNP have already connected it back to the SNP's website. So you're going on looking for postal votes and it goes directly to the SNP postal votes. That must be contravening the Electoral Commission. Oh, come on now. Come on. The writing is on the wall for the SNP for sure, apart from maybe if they use the Biden system. Well, they're certainly with the SNP just now, I think they're still going to do well. But I don't think they're going to do as well as they would have done before the salmon inquiry. So they're still, I think, going to do quite well. They call it fortifying the election. Yeah, it's called cheating. I think that's the word, and there should be people going to jail for it. I mean, all this one rule for one for another that Humza Useless wants to bring in with this disgusting hate speech. I'll deconstruct that. There was an interesting thing on the Scottish Parliament TV, and I'll deconstruct Humza Useless's thing. Nice name for rigging, yes, exactly. Exactly, of course it is. Don't let them kid you on. But you need to go out and vote. You need to start to be a bit religious about it's the new way. You need to go out and actually participate and speak to people nicely and just say to them, what do you think of this? And don't have to be preachy about it, don't be too preachy, but try and speak to people and put different sort of positions to them. Time Mag did an article on it. Time Mag did an article on what, buddy? They did an article on what? What did Time Mag do an article on? Useless went to Hutchie, yeah, so did I. So he is so hard done by, yeah, it's a shame, yeah, I know. We all saw what Tam was saying as well, yeah. I went to Hutchie my 6th year at school, I went to state school and then Hutchie. My mum went to Hutchie before that, so I'm accustomed to that. But yeah, I mean, it's not, it's an expensive fee-paying school. Problem with me going to Hutchie was I didn't know I had dyslexia and ADD at the time, and neither did the teachers. So I managed to change the Scottish education system to hopefully prevent other children going through what I went through, fortifying the election. Oh, did they? Cheating. I mean, that's completely unacceptable. That's what turns it into a banana republic. And then you get absolute scumbags for politicians. Time Mag did an article about how the Dems rigged the election. Yeah, that's right. But he said it was, I can't remember the rest of that. Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible, but you can't let them do this. You can't allow them to get away with this. You have to start calling them out. Don't be nice. If you see them, you need to speak to them and say it's unacceptable. Tape it and put it up. Look what you end up. Yeah, exactly. You've got Weekend at Bernie's president that can't even take a question. That's how bad it is. He's only a month in the job. And he can't take any questions. He's not had any questions. We've got some women that wants to circle back all the time, and they've started bombing my friends in Syria. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. But and Trump was a bad one. Oh, come on, that's what he said. Trump said, "Are you missing me just now? Are you missing me already?" Listen, the whole thing is a disaster. The SNP, the standard of politician in the Parliament just now is very low. There's maybe a handful, maybe about 10, 20 at the most, 20 I would say, competent politicians. The rest are just cannon fodder and might as well not be there. SNP need to go, Mays, I can't read that, if it matter, they won't let us do it. I found you, did you, Andy? Aye, thanks, sorry. SNP are already posting propaganda out there. Ain't no circle back, girl. And no circle back, girl. That's funny, man. Funny. So, do videos of Govan Hill versus... I'm going to speak about Govan Hill tonight. Sturgeon outlook on independent Scotland. Yeah, I'll speak about Govan Hill tonight. We'll cover all of that tonight. Under the Game Mafia. Just shows you that the Greens have principles. Exactly, I told you the Greens were a bad party. I had a wee chat with Sheila Malone down in London. She had joined the Greens. She was with Corbyn, joined the Greens, and then she joined the Brexit Party. She said the Greens were a bunch of crackpots. So, I mean, that just shows you. I mean, that's an elderly lady. She was a nice little lady. It's up on the Guerilla TV channel, if you look back. It's Sheila Malone and me having a chat with her outside Westminster. So, I mean, that's just absolutely unbelievable. It's unbelievable what's happening. So you need to actually vote in your second vote for the Reds, Greens. Yeah, that's it. We call it the Green Party, the watermelons. There's a green on the outside and red in the middle. So they're called the watermelons. Or Moby and the Marxists, whatever you want to call them. Moby and the Marxists, certainly up here. It's so funny. So that wee the guy with the red hair, who I think he may be gay. I don't want to out him on the Guerilla TV channel, but he certainly comes across if he's gay. So, which there's no problem with anyway. Patrick, I missed that. Moby. So Moby and the Marxists. So and the watermelons. So that's what they're called. So I wouldn't be voting for them either. If you're getting them out as well. Trans party, the tranny party, that's right. I'm having a wee hissy fit about trannies. Well, obviously I'm a trans, that my name's Daphne Ballantyne, and I'm a trans lesbian, so I can say anything I want now about the LGBT community as a trans lesbian woman. There was I'll show you this tonight as well. There was a guy going in the girls' toilets already. Very clever young man. He's quite funny. And the women taking pictures and all that. That was quite amusing. Hopefully I can find it later on. So, what else have we got? I mean, nobody can campaign. We've got Georgie Porgy Galloway, the old making the case for communism in the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, who have killed 45 million people. But Georgie Porgy Galloway thinks that's okay. For some reason, the old Marxist it is. But certain things I actually agree with George. So there's a number of issues that George and I are on the same page, which I don't know if he's a libertarian socialist, but there's certain things that I agree with him. But if he's the CCP are an authoritarian communist anyway, so I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how I'm for free speech, but I'm supporting the Chinese Communist Party. Oh, come on, George. Make up your mind. Are you into free speech or do you believe in the CCP? The CCP? Jeez, I mean, really, honestly. Completely bamboozling politics. And he's also wanting us to vote for the Lib-Lab Con Party again, who are just as big a disaster on one side as the SNP are on the other. We need a change in politics. I'm now super straight. Well, I'm a super straight lesbian. So that's what I am. I'm a super straight lesbian now, as a trans woman that I am. So that's it. I'm super straight. I thought it was funny as well. So apparently my friends down in the Lotus Eaters, I like to call them the Fetus Eaters, but the Lotus Eaters were talking about the fact that Boris has now had an epiphany and now knows that, excellent, I love the guys down in the Lotus Eaters, the great guys as well, lovely fellas. So, and Johnny Wong, which I think Johnny should stand for Parliament. I think he could be the first Asian guy in Parliament, and I would hope he would stand on vote Wong, vote right. I think that would be quite funny as his slogan, but he's a lovely fella, Johnny, and he actually did the petition to identify the Muslim rape gangs, or have a debate about the Muslim rape gangs down in England and all over England who were raping children down there. So I don't know, George in the Scottish Parliament would be hilarious. He would give them hell and show us how low the standards are. Yeah, actually, although he's an old commie, I would actually like him to see him elected. I wouldn't like to see too many people that think like George elected. Look out 5 in the motor. Look out 5 in the motor. I know that what are they going to do? It's not as if I'm hiding. So there's not really a problem with me in the police anyway. I've never really had major issues with the police. It's not the police that are the problem. The police are a symptom of the political class. And if you've got Humza Useless as the Justice Secretary, what do you expect the police to be like? And it's going to be through SGW policing, which is going to be one rule for one for another, which will affect all of you. What are you doing wrong? Nothing. Exactly. So I've never been really had any major incidents with the police, but the police obviously know who I am, and it's going to be even worse when I become a party leader. And actually, I'm a leader of a political party, so the police will have to take note, because one day the party could be elected, and it might not be Humza Useless that's in charge anymore. So that's certainly an issue that might have to be addressed later on. So I didn't know whether to actually do it at this election or wait for the next election, because it would give me a period of time for the run-in. But it will be done. It will be done relatively soon. I think there has to be another Libertarian Party to help out and the Scottish Libertarian Party, because it will benefit if there's 2 Libertarian parties in Parliament. I think the UK Reform Party are quite libertarian as well. I'm not sure. I think Mike Tice. I think Tice is quite a competent guy as well. It was. Don't worry. I will be going for it. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, Melanie. I will be going for it. So I'm disappointed. I don't know if I've got time to actually set up the party and actually stand at this election, but I'll get it going just now. Do this one. We need people, good people in. Yeah, do this one. We need good people in. Yeah, well, we need somebody else in. There are better people in Scotland that's in that Parliament, with a few notable exceptions. Davina for First Minister. That's it. I'll be the first trans female lesbian in Parliament, just to muck up the whole thing. Hi there, hi Marcia, how you doing? Yeah, so that's it. So I'll be the first trans female lesbian to actually become First Minister. Although Nicola Sturgeon's doing a good job just now of taking that crown. Although I think she's female to male. I think that's her issue. But I'll go into that later on tonight as well. So, what else have we got? Humza Useless's hate speech bill. It looks like it's going to get passed. What an absolute disaster. I think the Conservatives have managed to find the backbone and actually oppose it now, which is good of them, about time and a bit late, but never mind. And now there's a collection of other entities. I think we have to have a day of protest. I don't know if any of you are in Edinburgh and would actually come down and protest against this hate speech bill outside the Parliament. Because I think we need to, there's other groups, and I think we need to show resistance. There's other groups now all joined up against the hate speech bill because it's anti-women and it's anti-atheist, and there's a whole bunch of other people who are now actually all now joining up to actually oppose Humza Useless's, the Islamo-fascist hate speech bill, which will only apply to white men and women and adversely affect them. It won't be affecting anybody else. When I don't know yet, I'll find out. I might actually, Shabby, I'll find out maybe later tonight, and when the best time would be. I think maybe next week's Prime Minister's question time, we can make a bit of a racket out there. So, we need protest against the hate speech crime bill. It's absolutely disgusting, yeah. So what I need you guys to do, if I'm going, I'll put out a wee post, and I'll need you guys to share it and put it in every, like over Twitter, whatever social media you're on. I need you to get the message out that we're going to protest it. You could get the Guerilla TV badges. Yeah, we'll do all that. Don't you worry, we'll get all badges and everything else, T-shirts and everything else sorted out. And hopefully we can start making some money out of it, the Guerilla TV. But yeah, the Guerilla TV channel's just getting bigger and bigger. So what else is happening? So we're not allowed to do any leafleting or canvassing apart from the SNP, who've managed to show up the game. No allowed on social media. Near my Shabby either. I've had all my LinkedIn profiles taken down. I had my Facebooks taken down. I'm banned on Twitter just now. I might start a orangutan radio. Orangutan radio. You should have a donations button. Laugh aloud. Well, I've still to be monetised. We're actually past the monetisation, so we're just waiting for the monetisation part of it. And obviously, what I'll do is I'm not going to spend any of that money on myself. I'll just invest it in better equipment, better ways of actually broadcasting to you. I'll get green and blue screen up, banned for the last 4 years. Yeah, it's a disgrace, mate. They know what they're doing. They know. Hi, how you doing? There's Glenn, my friend Glenn. Hello, Glenn. Say hello to the Guerilla TV. He's my friend. Glenn's a great journalist. He's fantastic. I love the Guerilla TV, mate. Would plug in the orangutan radio. Great. So that's Glenn from the BBC. So obviously we've got the election coming as well. Just May. It's not that long. So I don't know how censored to, but I do what I can. Great reopening. Telegram, yeah. Europol after me, yeah. Europol after me. So get on Telegram too. I'm on Telegram, pal, so you can get me on Telegram, on Rumble, on all alternative minds. I'm on Gab, so we're on everything else. Disgraceful how they ban folk just for freedom of speech. Exactly. It's going to get worse for us, guys. Now they're trying to thought police us through the Islamo-fascist Humza Useless. 20th of March. What's the 20th of March, Marcia? Yeah, it's going to get worse and worse. They're going to start thought policing is they're going to start putting us in jail, send you there too. See you there too. What's happening the 20th of March here? Tell me what's happening the 20th of March. So, they're going to start thought policing us and putting people in jail for crimes. It's becoming Orwellian, the Great Reopening. Oh, is it? Well, there's old Nicola. Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. So Nicola is now taking us out of house arrest. Oh, that's very good of her, isn't it? For an infection that is 99.9 or 99% to 99.5% survivable. And we've just locked down the country for a year and destroyed businesses. Find on Telegram. It's the Guerilla TV channel on Telegram as well. Not really as keen on Telegram, but we certainly need a new sort of Facebook where we're not going to get banned as well. We can have free speech on that as well. Boris seems to have woken up to the problem here. It seems like the Conservative Party been in, I believe, when I can see it, whatever, just doing for the votes. Boris seems to have woken up a wee bit with the fact that the left are a problem, the extreme left are an issue. The woke or the SJW, which is just Marxism in a different brand. Boris is a wee bit slow off the mark, yeah. But the Conservative Party generally have been a bit slow off the mark. They seem to have woken up from a slumber, not realising that the extreme left have been sort of been able to bully and intimidate and close people down and get people cancelled. He seems to be, what's going on? And not actually doing anything. I'm sure that's harassment, trying to get somebody closed down. But none of the politicians in here have got a backbone anyway. I mean, they're absolute jelly politicians. We'll talk about that tonight when we talk about the gay mafia. Maybe he was giving her enough rope. Maybe they were giving them enough rope. But I mean, there's a lot going on. How do I get an email to you? My email is guerillatvchannel@gmail.com. I said Guerilla TV, but it's guerillatvchannel@gmail.com. Let the SNP show themselves up. Yeah. Well, I think they're still going to be strong, but I think what's happened with the adverse publicity, and obviously more and more adverse publicity, Wurzel Johnston. What I'm going to talk about tonight, about the other sex charges, is not really about the underlying sex charges, it's about how the SNP have dealt with it. It'll be fascinating. Tune in tonight as well. I may cut off here because the battery's going. That's no problem, Marcy. So if any of you need to speak to me, just get me on the Guerilla TV channel at gmail.com. That'll be the best way. So, what else has been happening? Swinney passed the test yesterday, but he still might come back again next week or a few weeks if the Parliament put pressure on him to release the reports. Rangers 55, put pressure on him to release the report of the education, what's happened with the education system and the education report that has been delayed till Scotland turning into a gay republic. Well, it's certainly turning into something. I think it's turning into an SJW republic, which is basically just Marxism in a different guise. So, what's happening? So, that's certainly more of an issue than the homosexuality in itself. 55 and counting, yes. Well, it was good. That was good. The Rangers, I think, Rangers now can focus in Europe, which will help all the other Scottish teams actually succeed if the further the Rangers get. Obviously, Praga will be a difficult task, but because he's won the league, I think he could rest players for playing that as well. I'm a rugby man, to be honest with you guys, but I do like watching the football as well. So, you need to start getting involved politically, guys. You need to start actually putting yourself out there. Things need signed, like if I'm standing in an election, we need 10 people in a specific location. We need people to actually start to get involved, come out and actually involve yourself in what's actually happening. Him holding the report back shows how arrogant they are. Holding the report back, destroying evidence, burning it, putting it through, buying paper disposal things, shredders, burning it, redacting it. I mean, honestly, it's absolutely unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they can do and just get away with it with no accountability. Oh, come on. Come on. So that's a huge issue for the SNP just now. The SNP have got big problems. It looks like they're not going to get a majority of what they require. I'm still glad Rangers fans did what they did. So am I. I know they broke the benches. Yeah, that was a bit bad. Thing to. I went in, I couldn't read that. School report will sink them, hopefully. Well, I don't know if it'll sink them, but politics is very much a chipping away process. And I mean, the thing that this is going to prove, the thing that happened in London has got a big thing, which I'll talk about tonight. Me too. Don't me too me, Malin. I never touched you, honestly, Gov. So, yeah, so it's a chipping away thing just now with the SNP, with the Parliament. No, I'm only joking, Malin. You didn't have to redact it. She just redacted it. Brilliant. You're so funny. Yeah, you're getting a job in the Crown Office, Malin. So, yeah, it's. I mean, it's just one thing after another, and I think it's been deliberately done. But the big thing that's going to come out just now, as I said to you, is they're going to. I'm glad about what Rangers did too. Yeah, so am I. It just broke the back of their authoritarianism, which was great. So, what else happened? Yeah, so what the government has done is actually, what the inquiry, the committee, Fabinini inquiry has done is I think they're going to contact Salmon's legal team and get the information that was sent from the Crown Office to the legal team, and they will then get the information that the Crown Office is preventing them from getting, and this may have other ramifications other than the fact of what's actually been held back by the Crown Office. So they're going to eventually, the Fabinini inquiry, and this may have ramifications that the First Minister may be called back in front of the Rangers pub, raised £6,000 for the benches, or did they? Oh, that's very good. That's very good. So they're actually, I think, the sight of these Union flags annoyed her more than anything else. Oh, of course, of course, the Rangers winning, of course it did. So I think that if the Fabinini inquiry gets Salmon's legal documents that Salmon has said proves that there was an orchestration of false sexual allegations by the, I'm just running it back here, guys, by the false sexual allegations by and our minions, then that could be criminal charges, never mind resigning issues. So there could be criminal charges, but who's going to actually then arrest her when she's in charge of the police, when she's got the ultimate power over the police? Even if he has orchestrated false sexual allegations against Alex Salmond, or the people under her have, and Alex Salmond can prove it when Nicola Sturgeon, when Fabinini inquiry gets the information from the WhatsApp groups and everything else from the Salmon's lawyers. Oh, and there's been another witness to witness the fact that a name was given of the complainer to Jeff Aberdeen. So there's another woman came forward to actually say that there's been another. I missed that Crown Office, something I can't read that. I've seen of Salmon and Sturgeon and Harry and Meghan. Brilliant. Yes, well, there's certain, I mean, obviously, Meghan, but I think that Meghan and Harry's thing is just a smokescreen. There's obviously things that are trying to be politically swept under the carpet, and I think that was just a sort of political smokescreen so that people would talk about something else other than what's actually happening in politics. So, I mean, obviously, it's massive. If the documentation comes from Salmon's lawyers that says that there's been an orchestrated setup of Alex Salmond for fake sexual allegations, then this is a criminal matter. This is a police matter, and police will have to be notified to actually go and speak to them. It's the whole thing of that clown on ITV leaving too. Well, the clown on ITV might be going to GB smoke screens for Prince Andrew. It could be. I always outweigh Doug when you stay safe. So Alex Salmond may have the information that would completely sink her, because if this information comes out that she's orchestrated this, or the minions under her have orchestrated this, and there's proof of this, then Nicola Sturgeon may have to be recalled to give further evidence to the Fabinini inquiry. Oh, that's absolutely massive. It just gets absolutely bigger and bigger. Bye Shabby, bye Shabby. So it's huge information, absolutely huge. The whole thing might come crashing down still. This might not be the end of what has actually happened with the actual Fabinini inquiry. There might be a twist, a political twist, a Shakespearean twist at the end to actually bring down Nicola Sturgeon and the government, which would be absolutely incredible. Alex Salmond's political timing would just be absolutely unbelievable. It would be absolutely unbelievable to actually have the last say, like he did at the end of his inquiry. He just put a wee feeder for the inquiry, and to get the actual information that had been not given by the Crown. I would laugh, would you? And this could be the information that's the most damning, because if it shows the orchestration of the false sexual allegations, which will go into the sexual allegations and what they did with the sexual allegations that happened down in London tonight at 6, then it'll show a complete twist in what's actually happened. Oh, it's quite incredible. Absolutely unbelievably incredible. So I don't know what else to say. I think we've been having a wee chat long enough, but join me at 6 o'clock tonight. We'll get a chat and we'll go over how hypocritical the SNP have been comparatively to Alex Salmond, but comparative to a member of the gay mafia. How they treated one person differently. This is the SJWs for you, and the SJWs versus justice and actual justice. So we'll have a great time tonight at 6 o'clock, because this will be a cracker. This will be a belter tonight. Have a nice day. Yeah, it's a bit rainy to have a nice day, and it's I'm getting a bit soaked here. Windswept and interesting. Well, baby gorillas, you know I love you.